Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. Nate says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to talk about the same thing everybody else is talking about. The fight that everybody's been waiting on has finally been announced. Floyd Mayweather and Manny-Pacquiao are set to step in the ring on May 2nd.
About goddamn time.
And so the real question is, what happens now? Now that they're finally getting in the ring, what is going to happen? Now, this is not our typical breakdown prediction video.
It's too early.
Yeah, we like to watch a lot of tape and do, all kinds of things like that, study all the intangibles and, all that good stuff. But this one is just talking about the boxing landscape and what happens before and after that fight. So, the first thing, because when the announcement happened, I was in the middle of teaching some kickboxing class, and I go to my phone and it's like 40 messages on there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And one was like, oh, the fight's happening, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But what's the undercard going to look like? Because I know they're going to beat us over the head to pay for this pay-per-view.
And neither one of them fighters has had a good undercard in like 2 years.
Yeah, not since Mayweather-Canelo have we had like a really good card all the way through.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna be paying $90 to $100, I better see some damn good fights. Now, who can fight on this undercard? We got a lot of guys that are tied up with the Premier Boxing Champions that will be starting in March. A lot of the Al Heyman guys, who are a lot of the guys that most people know of. Mm-hmm. We got like Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Adrian Broner, Robert Guerrero. All these guys are fighting within the next 2 months. Now, unless they knock somebody out really quick, that's not going to leave enough time to prepare for May 2nd.
But it might create a sense of urgency to knock that guy out.
Correct. Two guys that don't have fights right now, Tim Bradley and Amir Khan.
Left both of them out in the cold.
Yeah. Let's make them two fight. I think that's a good fight to go on that undercard.
And that one's been going back for the last, 3-4 years? Because they were supposed to fight at 140.
Right. So that's a good one right there. Also, maybe Tim Bradley, Provodnikov too. No, you can't have that one because Provodnikov is about to fight Lucas Petise.
So that's out the window.
Yeah. Now that would be a great fight to put on that card. But it's going to be, I think, the second or third week in April. So that one's out.
Still tune in for that one, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. We'll talk about that one at another time. Here's a good one. Lomachenko and Walters. Two great guys at featherweight. Both of them technically sound. They're both strong. You get a very good fight. And you can please both the hardcore fans and the casual fans because that fight will probably have a lot of leather landed, even though both guys are very good technically. Now, it depends on how many fights they have on this card. Are they going to go with 3 undercard fights in the main event, or are they going to go 2 undercard fights in the main event?
They need to go. If I'm paying $90 to $100, they need to go 4 undercard and let me make an event out of it. I want my money's worth.
Yeah, but when you start at 9 o'clock, that means the main event not gonna start till like 1 in the morning.
I don't give 2 dams. All right.
I do. I got a kid, man. I'm trying to go to sleep, but I'll probably stay up for that. Just jokes. So, like we said, we want to know what the undercard is going to look like. Also, now that I guess the boxing world is no longer being held hostage by will they or won't they fight, perhaps we can get some of these networks to start talking about people other than Mayweather and Pacquiao. So, if we don't get Khan and Bradley, maybe we get some guys that are up and coming, have some buzz. Not quite there yet, but somebody that we can follow on the way up.
Yes, especially at the anywhere from 140 to 154. The thing about this fight is that it has held up everyone between 140 and 154. Everyone wants the Mayweather sweepstakes. Everyone wants to fight Pacquiao. They don't want to fight themselves. Example, Exhibit A, Amir Khan. Instead of fighting Kell Brook or one of these other guys, he wants to wait around and do this, that, and the other. While he could have truly been making himself a star and just knocking people out.
That's true. The same thing with Tim Bradley. He did the exact same thing in not fighting Amir Khan and going on to fight like Joel Casamayor. Even though it worked out for him, it didn't work out for Amir Khan because he did get to fight Pacquiao. He got to fight Pacquiao twice. Those are the things that we're talking about. Instead of these guys trying to like make a name for themselves by beating everybody else and be like, hey, I'm the guy. They're like, you know, maybe I'll roll the dice and they'll pick me to be the guy.
Right.
Hopefully that stuff will stop, because I think because Mayweather and Pacquiao were doing this as well, everyone else said, hey, we can do it too. If they are not going to fight each other and fight everyone else and people are still watching them, we can do it too. Now, for years, everyone was like, you know, when's Mayweather going to fight Pacquiao? When's Pacquiao going to fight Mayweather? So they tuned into those fights because of the anticipation. But then you started to see both of their pay-per-view numbers start to dwindle down because people were getting tired of it. And I think both guys saw that. It was like, all right, it's time to make this fight. It wasn't because one of them was afraid of the other and vice versa.
Get that out your head.
Yeah, that's just complete nonsense. This was all about the dollar bills. And they wanted to make as much money as they could without having to fight each other.
And I mean,
and they did.
But now, it's a 60-40 split. You talk about 120 for Mayweather and 80 for Pacquiao, in a pay-per-view that might generate between $400 to $500 million. Oh yes, it's all about the paper now.
Yeah, and we'll probably still get a good fight. People are like, oh, you know, this is too late, blah, blah, blah. It actually might be a better fight now than it was then. But we'll never know because we didn't get the fight then. And it might be a worse fight now than it was then. Like I said, we'll never know because we got it now, so let's quit bitching about it. There, I said it. Let's just enjoy this fight. Hopefully, the boxing world can start to generate more talk other than these two guys, because they are great fighters in all of these other weight classes, doing their thing all the time. But all everyone wants to ask you about is Pacquiao and Mayweather.
Let's just look at all the potential pay-per-view guys we got. Danny Garcia in Philly and Puerto Rico. We got Timothy Bradley out of California.
Yeah.
We got Andre Ward out of Oakland. We got Terrence Crawford out of
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, I was about to say Oklahoma City, but
Gennady Golovkin.
Gennady Golovkin. You got Vasil Lomachenko. I'm impressed by this guy. You got I don't even want to say it, but he puts on good fights. Jesus JCC Jr. I mean, he puts on an exciting fight. I mean, what can I say? I mean, you got all these guys. Pay attention to them. They need
Sergey Kovalev.
The Charlo brothers. I mean,
we can go on for days.
These guys that you need to pay, they're all in like mid-20s to maybe 31, and they're all in their prime. You need to start looking at these guys.
Yeah, so we need to start talking to the networks and say, hey, forget about Pacquiao and Mayweather. We know you guys like them. They are the big names or whatever. But if you guys are going to cover boxing, cover all of it. Not just those two guys. Not just those two guys. Because the sport of boxing is bigger than Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Why? Because they haven't fought for years. And guess what? There was still plenty of money to be made by not only the two of them, but all those fighters that we mentioned. So hopefully this will take that stranglehold off of and put some more eyes on some of these other guys that are up and coming.
And just realize, with Pacquiao and Mayweather, we might have, when it's February, another year, depending on this fight and what they do afterwards, of seeing them. So
that's right. Both guys are on their way out. Mayweather has 2 fights left on his Showtime contract. Pacquiao's contract goes through 2015, which is the end of this year. So he might get one more fight.
And 36 and 37, or they'll both be 38 and 30.
Mayweather will turn 38 on the 24th,
right.
Which by the time we put this video out, he'll be 38. Pacquiao just turned 36. Neither one of these guys want to go on and pull a Bernard Hopkins. So they'll probably be out of here within the next year or two.
Exactly.
But like we said, there are plenty of good fighters out there that we need to pay attention to and give them some props on the national stage so they can become the next Pacquiao or Mayweather.
But
they don't even have to be as good. They just have to have that opportunity to shine. Like you got Oscar De La Hoya. He wasn't as good as either one of those guys. But Oscar put butts in seats because he gave it his all, and people like the way he looked too. But he gave it his all. He fought the best that was out there, and he was marketed well. So if we do all those things for some of these other fighters, we will get the same results.
Now, for all you guys who love the debate, the fight is happening. I don't want to hear fear. I don't want to hear running. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. Be respectful on our channel. Be respectful to each other. Because this fight, I mean, it's going to be the biggest event since Lewis Tyson. Am I saying, am I right? Yes, since Lewis Tyson.
The biggest event since Canelo Mayweather.
Well, I mean, of significance, but okay, whatever.
That was pretty big.
Yeah. But either way, it's still going to be huge. I mean, enjoy the fight. Can we just enjoy the fight? It's happening now. We don't need all that stuff needs to go by the wayside.
Yeah. All you guys have been arguing for years and years and years. Like you can't like both guys. Like that was a cardinal sin to be a Pacquiao and a Mayweather fan at the same time. Like if you liked Pacquiao, you had to hate Mayweather and vice versa. You guys have kind of ruined it for other hardcore fans. Like there are people out there that's like, what is wrong with you guys? You out there calling each other names. You guys are
Pac-Cards, Flomo,
all that bull. You guys are trolling websites. Like you go to the comment section, you see the same people all the time saying the same old garbage. All that energy you spent hating on these guys, you might have been able to get in the ring yourself.
Or you could have watched some people that actually were fighting these up and coming guys that we were talking about.
That too. But no, you want to go and troll Mayweather articles or troll Pacquiao articles and just, why? Stop. Hopefully after these guys are done, you guys can get a daggone life and go do something with yourself.
How about this? How about between now and then, enjoy Pascal and Kovalev. Enjoy Garcia Peterson. Enjoy Broner and Molina. There's plenty of fights between now and then. Just enjoy. We know the fight's made. We know what's happening. Enjoy all these fights that's leading up to it, because they're all going to be good fights.
That is true. Shoot. These guys haven't even gotten in the ring yet. Somebody might get hurt. Something else might happen. Maybe one of them fails a test. That's been happening like crazy in the UFC. Maybe it happens now. I really hope that doesn't happen, because then, oh gosh, the internet's going to go crazy if one of them fails a test. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But really,
it's coming.
Anything can happen. Like, we got a long way between the cup and the lip, as some of the old folks like to say. Something might happen to stop this fight from happening. But there are, like Rob said, there are plenty of other fights for you to enjoy before that fight happens. So tune into those fights, and then maybe you'll learn something about the sport. And then when you watch Pacquiao and Mayweather, you won't be like, oh, this fight is boring because it's like, not what you expected it to be. I don't know if people are expecting this fight to be like some kind of knockdown, drag out fight for the ages. I'm almost certain you're not going to get that.
Yeah, this ain't going to be Apollo and Rocky.
No, it's not. But, maybe it will be. That's why everyone's going to watch. But enough ranting for today. That's how we feel, but those are the other issues surrounding that fight. And it's bigger than just the two of those guys deciding to fight, as you can see. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked this episode. If you got anything, like Rob said earlier, be respectful.
And don't worry, we have plenty of videos coming out about this fight because we still have an undercard to put together.
Yes, we don't know what's going to be on the undercard. We still got plenty of film to watch. We still got training footage for this fight to watch. So, like Rob said, we got quite a few more videos coming out. We're going to probably do some real detailed breakdowns for this one. Excuse me. You can follow us on Facebook, Capital Combat, Google Plus, same name. You can hit us up on our email, capitalcombat@gmail.com. Any questions you guys got about the fight game, we got the combat mailbag for you. We got the technical toolbox, anybody who wants to learn how to box. And plenty more breakdown and review videos for all the other fights that are coming on that we told you to enjoy because they're going to be good. So, catch those, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is come at a cost. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.